This conference will now be recorded.
So far we have created the material master, BOM, routing, production version, work center, and we need to run the standard cost estimate now. Okay, so that our materials will get a planned price. So as soon as we are going to create our orders, my planned price is there, and when we are doing confirmations, my actual price will be there, and we can see some variance. Okay, if we are giving the exact values, there will be no variance, but if we fluctuate, then what we have planned for, then the variance will come. Okay, let us go ahead and run the standard cost estimate. So here you can see the transaction code. Here I have CK11N for running the standard cost estimate. CK24 is for the releasing and marking my price. Okay, I'll show you how we can do it. So standard cost is not showing up. CK11N. So I remember I added, it's still not there. Create material cost estimate. Yeah, this is the one. So this is CK11N. So maybe I need to write it in the uppercase. So the tile name is create material cost estimate. But if you log in over here, you can always log in with CK11N. Okay. So what is my material? My material is Scorpio. Scorpio N, my plant. Costing variant. So costing variant is available from the standard. We will be using PPC1 on the very first. Okay, double click on this. Costing lot size, either you can give 1 or it can pick up from the material master from the costing view. So this can be blank, that is fine. Now you press enter. It will take you to the dates tab. Okay, here you have to make sure that the date is of the current month. Right now my July month is going on. It is showing me as 8. Could you just give me one moment? Somebody is at the door. Yes, sorry, I'm back. Okay, so I was saying that costing date has to be in my current month. Okay, right now system is showing me August, but I'll have to change it. And also this particular date. Okay, if I'm costing it from the very first, so on the first, do I have material master? No, I don't. So I have created all the material master in the yesterday's date or like just before that. Okay, so I need to change and update the date. I can give 27th, that should be fine. And I can copy this date and I can give the costing 2. So costing 2 date is that do you want to cost or do you want to plan a material for 3 months, for a quarter? Do you want to plan this particular cost for 6 months or annually? So based upon that, the date has to be fixed. This is done by the finance team, but for our understanding, I'm giving you this information that you can make it for 1 year, you can make it for quarter, or you can make for 6 months as well. So it will run till 2023. You can copy the very first date and here you can put it, okay, in both of the tabs. Now press enter. Okay. So once I run this, what I see my finished product, which is Mahindra Scorpio. Let me bring it over here. So this will cost me 749 USD. Okay. And then what is my engine cost? It is costing me 350 USD. So this particular cost for the raw material is getting picked up from my material master, because this is moving average price and we have maintained it in my material master. Okay. This particular price is sum of this as well as some of my operations. So we have given a labor time, we have given some setup time, and then I showed you yesterday we have activity types, which is storing the per hour rate. Okay, so that will be also available. So here you can see this assembly. Okay, assembly one, and this is costing me, that particular operation is costing me $1 of like 40 USD. Here again you can see Mahi assembly, it is costing me $20. Why this is difference? Because we are setting it up as machine and labor both. Okay, if you come down here again, you have some value. Here you can see the activity type number 3. Here you can see activity type number 11. Here you can see activity type number 1. So we have used 1, 3, and 11. Okay, and which production version this is capturing? That is, you can see from here. Okay, quantity structure. So this is doing right now for 001. So we have two production version. So the first production version will have your sunroof, and if you do it again for the production version 2, then it will be without sunroof. So your cost will be different for both of them. Okay. So this is how the costing team will be running the standard cost estimate, and then they will save it and then they will release it. So when they release it, it will go, this price will go in my finished product, which was blank right now. Okay, let us try to see that. Where is my save button? One minute. I got a warning message that it won't be saved. Maybe that it would be the issue. So I'm changing to the current date. Now save button is coming up. Okay, so let us save this. So cost estimate is saved. Now the next step is again go back to the home screen. So I have added the styles. So you can also add it by searching from the app finder. Okay, you can find it in the catalog or you can find it in the SAP menu. Try to find it with the CK11N and CK24 transactions. Then you can pin them in your home page. So the period for which you have just created the standard cost estimate, it should be available over here as well. Okay, company code is not required. You can just enter the plant and then you can enter the material. Scorpio N. Here you will have a test run. So you can uncheck this, go to marking allowance and make sure the 1710 has this particular line. If does not, then you can add it. Okay, then go back and click on execute. So here you can see one material has been costed. So we are running at the finished product level, and uh, it will also send the cost to the semi-finished if you have a semi-finished product, and if any raw material also needs a cost, but basically the raw material cost will be coming from PIRs, which is purchase info record, or we enter it in the material master. This has already been discussed. But if you have multi-level bombs, like if you are manufacturing engine also in-house, then the price will be divided accordingly. So finished product will be there, semi-finished product will be there, and your raw materials will be there. So I'll go back and let me use this particular screen. I can go to MM03 transaction, Scorpio, press enter, go to the costing tab. Okay, costing 1, costing 2. Here you can see the price which we have just run as $749 is coming as a future price. So right now, why it is coming as a future price? Because I have just marked a standard price. I have not released it. Okay. In the second step, I will click on release, and then if I execute, then this price will become a current price for me. Okay. So this is how the costing will happen between finance and PP. So I'll go back again, click on execute. My materials are costed. There is a change document which is posted. Now if I go back to MM03, go to costing to view, this becomes my current price. It gets removed from future, and now it becomes my current price. Here you can also see in the accounting view, if I go down, okay, this is my standard price now, which was blank when we created, and this has been done on today's date. Okay, so this is how the costing run will happen in the real world, in the real-time projects. And if there is any issue from the BOM or from the routing side, okay, that the cost is not getting captured in the lower levels, or your operations are not being captured, then they will involve us as well in the costing run. Okay, because something would be missing, then we can identify and fix our routing or BOM, and then they can release the cost, because this is a mandatory thing before we start the manufacturing. Okay, so if I go here, I have done my step, then I can go to the PIRs, which is planned independent requirements, or entering the forecast. Okay, so the transaction is mentioned over here. MD61 is my transaction to enter the forecast. 62 is for the change mode, and 63 is for the display. Okay, and these are the standard ones, and there is a new tile from SAP Fiori S/4HANA, which is maintain PIRs. Okay, we'll discuss about that. So I'll open both so that you can see the difference. MD61, create PIRs. So this is my standard T code related transaction. Okay, let me open a new screen again so that we can compare side by side. And here I have maintain PIRs. If I type, so I'm going one by one always in the search bar, but if you are using this screen very frequently, you can maintain the groups. So these are called my folders or groups, and I can easily drag and drop, or I can add to my folders, and I can just go to my folder and click on the tile. That is also possible. Okay, maintain PIR. So this is a new tile which is dedicated for Fiori, which is not available in this particular screen. Okay. So what is the difference here? Here you have this upload and edit. That means I can use my Excel files which was not available over here. Here you cannot upload using the Excel files. Previously in ECC or the previous versions, when we are using this GUI, not the Fiori tiles, then we used to create a customized tile, or sorry, customized transaction where we could include the Excel files. So SAP has worked on that, and it has given a new tile which is maintain PIRs, where I can upload my data using the Excel file. How to do that? Let us see. First of all, write your material number, Scorpio N. Okay, remove this and click on go. Here your material will come. Click on this, and first of all you can create, or you can go over here. Okay, here it is asking you for a CSV file. So right now we do not have a CSV file, or we do not have a format what we need to choose. So for this, what you can do is first upload any data manually. Okay, LSF is coming because we have used strategy number 10. Create and edit. Here I am giving the data in the month of July itself. So I'm saying 100. Okay. Here also I'm giving 150, and then here I'm giving 200. Okay. Press enter and click on save. So this data will be saved, and how and where can you see this data? You can go to the MD04 screen. Okay, that is in the GUI. The transaction is called MD04, or you can type stock requirement list as well. Okay, here you can just type monitor stock, and this particular screen will pop up. Here you can just enter your material and click on continue. Refresh. Why this data is not coming up? Let me just check. Version is not active, that's why. PIRs are saved. Now my data is coming up. So I've given 100, 150, and 200 in all three different months. Okay. Now the question is, the client will ask us, can I give all of this data? And is there a possible way where I can give this data in my Excel file? So earlier we used to say no customization is required, but now I can download it. Okay. So this material CSV file is downloaded. So this is the format in which you have to upload the data. Now I want to upload more data. I can say 300, I can say 500, I can say 600. Okay, and I can click on save, say yes, close it, and go to my file again, and you can click on one step back. Okay, and here you can say upload and edit data. Now I can upload my file because I have the format. So if you notice, from my Excel file I am able to give my data. Okay, and just click on save. And then if you go back to your requirement list, click on refresh. Again, the data will be added. Okay, similar way you can also remove the data. If you do not want all of these, you can again remove it from the file, or you can remove it manually as well if the data is lesser. Here I just want to make it all zeros, so the blank will not take. Okay, that is one thing. You just have to make it 0. So I can go one step back. I can easily make 0 as well, but just wanted to show you the functionality. Okay, now it has read the zeros and I can click on save. And then I can refresh once again. My data is removed. So this is how this new tile works, called as maintain PIR. So I have the normal transaction as well, which is MD61, and I can enter the values over there. The only functionality which I'm getting right now is I can upload using the Excel file, and also it will give you some accuracy over here. If you want to see the is your forecast as per the SAP is correct or not, then it will give you some accuracy period as well, which is not available in our MD61 or 62 screens. Okay, so few things they have added to this new screen. Now we'll execute further. Now we have entered the forecast. The next step is to run the MRP. So when we enter the forecast, we are entering it on the top level. Okay, so I'll just give you this information. Forecast, and then forecast is always entered in top level or finished product. Okay, and execution is always done from raw materials. So what exactly this mean? So I'll give my forecast. Forecast will drill down my requirement from top to bottom. Okay. When I start my execution, can I just go ahead and start assembling my car parts without actually getting my raw materials? No. So I have to first of all procure my raw materials, and I can go bottom to top. So I have to first get my tires, first get my engine, windshield, other items, and then I can start assembling of my final product. But forecast is not from raw materials, it is always at the top level, and it drives down or drills down till the raw material level. That is one thing we should be always remembering. If you want to see right now what is the situation on other parts, okay, engine. If I give engine Scorpio and press enter, there will be nothing because MRP run has not taken a place. So when MRP will run, what MRP exactly does, it will check the situation, the stock situation for all the materials which are required. Okay, if they find it 0, it will create proposals for me. That is the job of MRP, material requirement planning. If I have enough stock, okay, depending upon the strategy, it will create me a proposal or it will not create me a proposal. Okay, so when it will not create a proposal, we'll talk about that in the upcoming strategies, but let us see strategy number 10 right now. So we'll go with the MRP run. I'll just go back, enter my finished product again, and now I do not need this tile. I can go back, and here I have MRP live, which is new transaction. Okay, MRP live is dedicated to S4HANA. This was not available in ECC earlier. In ECC, we used to have MD01. Okay, let me write it down. I have written it over here. Okay, so in MD01N is my MRP live transaction. If I want to run it on this particular screen, I will type MD01N and it will give me MRP live. Or I can go to my tile, which is MRP live, and then I can enter the data. But what used to be there in the previous version, I used to have MD01 MRP run. Okay, what is the difference between that? Let me tell you about that as well, because this is one of the crucial point. Okay, the changes between S4HANA and ECC. Here you have only one plant. Here you cannot run on the multiple plants. For running that multiple plants, you have to either run one by one, or you have to create some scope of planning. Okay, that too, it will be like for that particular plant, no possibility of running one by one. So it was very tedious job earlier, and MRP has considered that, and now what they have done, they have given a new transaction. Let me open it, MD01N. Now you can enter multiple plants here and here. If I give all the details and if I click on this particular arrow, it says multiple selection. So I can run on multiple plants now. Okay, that is one thing. Another thing is multiple materials are also now available. I can run on multiple materials under one plant, which was not possible. This is MD01. There are other transactions as well, which is MD02. Here I have single item multi-level. Means I can run only on Scorpio. What if I want to run on Scorpio, Thar and XUV 700 in one go? I cannot use my previous transactions, but I can use MRP live. Okay, I can give plant 1710, and in this plant I am manufacturing 3 different car models. I can always give it here. Okay, this MRP controller again was part of enhancement earlier. If you notice, I do not have MRP controllers. Okay, so that for this we used to do the enhancement, or we used to do the customization using the user exit, and then we could assign the MRP controllers. Now SAP has considered that information, and it has become, they have included the MRP controller in my transaction itself, so no need for enhancement. And now they have also included all materials, M MRP materials, and S MPS materials. Earlier for MRP and MPS we used to have different transactions. Now with one transaction only you can do all the execution. So if you say all materials, it will consider your MRP as well. It will consider your MPS materials also. Okay, so what is the difference between that? It is available in the MRP type. So where we are using PD, there you will have M1, M2, M3, M4 like that. That will be MPS materials. Okay, and they have given this particular section, which is if you want to include the all BOM components. Okay, if you do not select this, your components which are added to the finished product, my engine, my windshield and so on, will not be considered. Okay, so it's always advisable whenever we are executing, this should be checked. Now this MRP live also has capability of considering your stock transfer materials. So what is stock transfer materials? It is, you have 2 different plants, you have 1710 and you have 1720, just for example's sake. Now in 1710 you are not having some stock, but you have it in 1720. So what you will do, you will do a stock transfer from plant to plant. Now if you want to plan those materials as well, you want to consider that particular material because it is stock in transit. Okay, so MRP will check that, okay, you are already sending goods, so new proposal should not be created for those materials. That capability has also included here. Okay, you have changed any BOM component in between. So you have now sunroof, you have just removed the sunroof, not by the alternative BOM, but just you have removed from the BOM. So if you have done those changes, you want to consider those as well, you can put a check mark here. If you notice, there is some new term called as regenerative planning.